Hey guys! So welcome to this video. It might be a long one, I don't really know. I hope it's a lot better than the first version of this that I did. It's a requested video and it's going to be my makeup collection, which now exists in this chest of drawers that's right next to me here. So I'm literally just going to go through in some sort of order if I can, and basically just run through everything very briefly. And if there are products that you want me to go more into detail about and make videos about those, then I am very willing to do that for you. But to try and keep the length of this video shorter, then I'm not going to go into detail about every single item. If I think it's worth mentioning in this video, then obviously I will. So, and just a little disclaimer, this is not a boast or a brag about my makeup collection, because compared to other YouTubers on here, I think mine's particularly small. I think it has grown in size since I last showed you what I had, but it's by no means at all look how much stuff I've got, because I'm just not like that. I'm really not. I'm interested in seeing other people's makeup collections, so it sort of like prompts me to go, oh yeah, why didn't I think to buy that? So I hope this does like the same for you. I've got my jumper on at the moment because I'm absolutely freezing. I'm just going to shut the windows because there's loads of noise outside for some reason. Somebody down the road fixing their car, for goodness sake. So right, so that's done. I'm going to start on my face products and stuff. So sometimes I use a primer, sometimes I don't. I've got like half a bottle of this, a silicone primer by the brand Younique, who I used to work for when I first started YouTube. It's actually a really good primer, there's nothing wrong with it. I've just stopped using primers because just for quickness really. I find you've got to put it on and then leave it set before you can go and do anything, and I haven't got time for that kind of stuff. And then I've also got this number 7 Colour Carmine primer, and it actually comes out green in the tube, which is very strange, and I haven't really used it on my face at all. To be honest with you, I don't think I will use it, but it'll probably be off by now. I don't really know, but it was given to me by my mum, but I haven't used it. And then I've also got this who's it by? Mite makeup. It's called Diamond Heart. It's a base primer and apparently it's illuminating. I got this, it's a bit too bright maybe. I got this in a glossy box. I keep like the Birch boxes and the glossy boxes that I've had in the past. I've kept like the actual box to store the stuff in within the drawer, so it doesn't like all roll around and go mental. So I'm just going to start off with something here which is absolutely awful. I highly recommend that you don't buy it. It's this mineral powder that I bought in Aldi's. It's the lightest shade and it's far too dark for my skin. Having said that, I'm going to hang on to it until the summer comes around, because I do tan quite easily in the summer these days. So I don't know, it's one of those ones where you like dip the brush into it or something. I don't flipping know. But I didn't get along with it the first time I used it and I thought it was absolutely horrendous. So maybe things will change by the time the summer comes around. Then I've also got this tinted moisturiser, and this came in my Love Lula box just this month. It's actually really good. I thought that it's going to be too dark when I put it onto my skin, but it blends out really, really nicely. And then what have I got? In terms of concealers, I have got this Boing by Benefit in shade 01. I have got this Clinique one in shade 02 Light, and it's the Line Smoothing Concealer. It's quite a heavy concealer and it like settles into like my fine lines and stuff like that, so I don't really like using that. It's too thick for me really. Then there's this by Maybelline, this Instant Anti-Age, the Eraser Eye. I didn't like this when I first started using it, but the actual like formula of it is actually quite good, I find, but I think the colour is a little bit too dark and I wish they did this in a lighter colour, and I'm not too fond of that like spongy applicator thing. I just think I don't know. I'm not cool with it. And then I've also got this MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in shade NC20. I wanted the shade lighter, but the woman in the store persuaded me to buy this, but it works all the same. I've got it on today and you wouldn't be able to tell that it's too dark for me. So that's pretty cool. Then on to foundations and stuff. I have got two things which aren't in this box. I'm going to need to pause this and go and get them. I've got this translucent Perfect Light Loose Powder by No. 7, and it I used to wear it as a foundation, but it really is too pale. And when I first started wearing it, it wasn't very well, I don't think, to be perfectly honest, because it seemed to match my skin. But then obviously I started like becoming more healthy, and yeah, I just look like a ghost with this on. But it's not supposed to be used as a foundation, it's supposed to be used as like a setting powder, I would assume. But I do use it every now and then just for shiz and gigs. What else have I got? I've got this Younique Mineral Touch Pressed Powder Foundation, my favourite foundation of all time. I love pressed powder foundations, and as you can see, I'm like on the last dregs of this, and I don't think I've got any more of these left. But that's a shame. I really want to find like a pressed powder foundation that matches the quality of this. It's so finely milled, and the coverage is like the coverage that I've got on my face now from the MAC Pro Longwear. It's just insane. Really good. Then I've got this collection in shade Ivory 2 Naturally Matte. I'm not really keen on this. It's not that matte, to be honest. I don't think it's any more matte than your average foundation. Then I've got this e.l.f. Moisturising Foundation Stick. So literally just twists up like a lipstick does. That goes quite oily towards the end of the day, I suppose, because it's moisturising. It's supposed to be, maybe it just is supposed to, but that's in the shade Ivory, and that's actually quite a good colour match for me. And then I've got this Miss Sporty Mission Correction Multi-Action. Apparently it does concealer, foundation and highlighter all in one go. It doesn't, it's lying, but it's an alright. I didn't get along with this when I first started using it, but I used it for like every day for a week recently, and I actually found it quite easy to use, and it gave good coverage but without being too heavy. So that was nice, and that's in the shade 002 Light. And then I have got this, my most recent well, my most high-end addition to the family is this MAC Studio Fix Fluid in NC15, and I've got that on my face today, and I think it's the absolute bomb. It really like hasn't broken down at all, and I think this gives off like a nice glow and stuff, and I'm just really enjoying using this at the moment. Then I bought this the other day to try and like start my hunt for the pressed powder foundation. I got this Bourjois Healthy Balance matte 10 hour. Apparently it's like a pressed powder foundation, and it's in the shade 52 Vanilla. It smells lovely, it smells really nice. If I can flip and open it. And the colour's really good, but like the coverage is just it doesn't like it doesn't match that of the one that I really like, so, but it's still nice nonetheless. And then the last face product, I think this is the last one, is this MUA Skin Define Hydro Power. It's just like a setting powder, or like one of those, you know, when you get a bit oily later in the day, one of those ones that you sort of like whoosh all over your face. So that's the stuff for my face. I'm going to add this thing in here because it doesn't really have a category of its own. It's one of these Benefit tins that I got for Christmas, and it's got like a little bit of everything. This is Life of the Party, this tin is. That was really amazing English. That was the most Welshest English I've ever used. It's got like a miniature, not miniature, but like a POREfessional in there, and then it's got two of the blushes in Dandelion and Rockatua, so I don't know which one's which. I think that's Dandelion and that's Rockatua. I'm probably completely wrong. Then you've got three eyeshadows in there. You've got Call My Bluff, Nude Swings and Taupe It Off, which is actually what I've got on my eyes today. Very nice, very subtle but very lovely. Then I've got this Benny Tints, which I cannot wear on my lips because it bleeds like crazy, and I haven't tried it on my cheeks yet. I daren't. And then they've got a mini of the They Are Real mascara. So that's pretty cool. So that's like a little bit of everything. And I've been enjoying using the eyeshadows and the blush from that predominantly. So now I'm going to take you through like my blushes and bronzers. I haven't actually got many of those, but my collection is growing and I'm really happy about that. First off, I've got this awful blush. It's awful because I'm very heavy-handed and this goes on like the same colour as my flipping necklace. I mean, look at it. It is the same colour as my flipping necklace. It's crazy. It's a loose one, so I can't really control how much goes on the brush, and then I put it on and it's just like, oh my god, I look like a clown. So I think this needs to go. I don't think I've used this in like I've probably used it twice since I purchased it, which was well over a year ago, so maybe that even needs to go. But that's in the shade Stunning, and Stunning it is not. What else do we have in here to do with blushes? I've got this Lord&Berry blush that I got in a Birchbox, I think it was, or something like that, and it's in the shade 8214 Lotus, and it's really, really good. As you can see, I have used it a hell of a lot. I glued it into this plastic thing because it kept falling out, but it is brilliant, and I think I want to like repurchase the big size of it, because this baby here is the guy that got me into wearing blushes on a more regular basis. So if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have blush on my face today, basically. So then I've also got this number 7 Romantic Cream to Powder blush. It's really, really subtle. I'm not into cream products like a cream blush or something like that, primarily because I use a powder on my face, and then putting a cream on top of a powder just feels wrong in every sense of the imagination, so I don't really use that much. And then I haven't used this yet, I haven't even shown you or told anybody or hauled this yet. It's like a Ted Baker lip and cheek tints that I got from my beautiful friend Vicky on here. Her channel is There's Beauty and Simplicity. I always talk about her. She's like my best bud on YouTube. Amazing. It smells of Milky Bar buttons. It's incredible, but I haven't used it yet, so I don't even know what the pigmentation is like on it, but I will probably do a video featuring this in it at some point, because that's quite exciting. I've just basically contradicted myself and said, I don't really like cream brushes, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to put that on my cheeks. But then I'm saying, yeah, I really want to put this on my cheeks. But I think the application of this will be a lot easier than sticking this on your finger and then, I don't know. I think that this will be a lot easier than this will, but who knows. And then also from Vicky for Christmas, my main Christmas present from her, which is absolutely insane. It is so, so, so generous, and I'm like, I can't get over it. I'm absolutely blown away. It's this beautiful blush by MAC, and it's part of their Pro Longwear range, and it is in the shade I'm a Lover, and it is brilliant. I haven't got it on today, actually. I'm actually wearing the Benefit Dandelion and Rockature mixed together because I've been in work, but this is really, really, really nice. I love it. I've been wearing it so, so much, like apart from today actually, so I'm really, really grateful for that. That was like a really, really nice surprise when I got that through the post, so that's lovely. Then bronzers, I've got this tiny little sample from The Balm in the shade, goodness knows, I can't even find it, and I'm not going to sit here and try and find it, but it's this tiny little bronzer there, and you can actually get quite a good colour payoff if you swipe across a few times with your brush. It's quite a dark pigmented bronzer, so I've enjoyed using that, but I don't really use bronzer as often as I used to anymore, so that's that. Then I've got this Miss Sporty Oh Tan So Fine bronzing powder, so half of it's like a bronze and then half of it's a highlight, whereas I've hit pan there with the highlight because I actually have used it that much, but it's like a fake representation because you have to like swish the brush so many times across the highlight to actually even get something worthwhile putting on your face. Then I've got my last bronzer here, is the one from that company that I used to work for, Younique. It's actually really nice. It's like a baked bronzer. One side's like a bit darker, it's a bit marbleized, but I just use this darker bit here for contouring because it's not very dark at all. It's like a very subtle contour, very, very nice and very, very blendable. I really like this. If I could find this in like a drugstore version, then that would be awesome, because this was like £25 to buy. I don't want to spend £25 on a bronzer, I just think it's ridiculous, because do I use this every day? No, I don't. If I'm spending £25 on a foundation every day and I use it every day, fine, because I think that's worth the money. But bronzers, no thanks, you're alright. And then I probably should have put this in the first lot of stuff that I did, but I didn't. It's like a mini sample of the Professional License to Blot. I think I got this in a Birchbox, but it's like is you can use it in several different ways. You like put it over places where you know you're going to get oily, and then you put your makeup on top, or you've got your makeup on and then you can use this on places where you start to get oily. So it's basically like one of these. It's like an oil de-slicker basically, but I can't see how this is going to work once you've already got your makeup on. Surely you're gonna like move the makeup all around, whereas a powder wouldn't really do that. But with this, I don't know. So I haven't even tried it yet, so I don't even know what it's like or anything like that.